Hi. Thank you for joining us. Generally, before you start the bank reconciliation process in your accounting software, you need to set up your bank accounts correctly. In this video, we will talk about 3 major things that affect the banking module in Zoho Books. First, we will show you how to set up your bank account. We will then discuss the differences between the types of banks in the United Kingdom. And finally, we will illustrate how to fetch bank feeds from your bank into your account. So, how do you set up a bank account on Zoho Books? First and foremost, you must have an account. If you don't have one yet, feel free to contact us for help in signing up. However, if you already have an account, head on to the banking module on the Zoho Books dashboard. You can link your bank account here. But before linking your bank account, it is good to know the types of banks in the UK because they behave slightly differently. With respect to accounting software banking modules, banks typically fall into 3 categories. First, there is a modern bank that instantly updates your transactions. Second, a traditional bank with bank feeds. The last type of bank is those without any feeds. We will attempt to show what to do in each circumstance depending on your type of bank. Let's start with the modern banks. Modern banks tend to be referred to as challenger banks. It is normally given for them to use the most up-to-date technology. Examples of these banks in the UK are Starling Bank, Monzo, Atom and Tide. We will demonstrate the process with these banks first, because they are usually the best and most efficient. From your dashboard, go to Banking, then start by clicking Connect Bank Account or Credit Card. Then, choose your bank from the banks already listed on the screen. In this case, you will see it is Starling Bank, United Kingdom. I'm intentionally highlighting the country here, as some multinational banks may appear multiple times. Additionally, some banks may appear multiple times because credit cards could also be appearing when you search via this screen. For example, you could have an option for Barclays Business, as well as Barclaycard. Unlike Xero and QuickBooks, Zoho uses a third party called Token to access the automatic bank feeds. Consequently, you should accept on this page here. The next step will take you away from Zoho Books to the website or app provided by the bank itself. This is one of the main differences in the way bank feeds work between each bank. In particular, Starling Bank's process proves much more efficient than a comparative old-school bank like HSBC or Barclays. In the case of Starling Bank, I enter my account number and phone number associated with the Starling app. From this, it will send a pop notification to accept on my phone. Unfortunately, you cannot see it on screen. After accepting, I again need to scan the QR code from my phone to give access to Zoho Books. Next, you will see another step that drastically differs between the various banks. A modern bank like Starling allows me to choose the date from which I can start to import the live bank statements. However, many traditional banks struggle with this feature and only allow you to start the import from the next working day, after setting up the feeds. In this instance, we would need to follow the manual Excel or CSV import process to get the historic data into Zoho Books. We will show you this process in more detail later in the video. In this instance, I only want to import the transactions from today, as this is a real bank account. As you can see, the system is set up but waiting for the feeds to refresh. I can kickstart this process by going to the cog icon on the right-hand side and pressing Refresh Feeds. Instantly, you will see the transactions then appear in the Uncategorized Transactions tab. This again shows why we love the likes of Starling Bank, as you will see these transactions come through instantly. Going forward, the moment you make a payment or receive money via your Starling account, you will see it appear in Zoho Books seconds later. This is a particularly cool feature, but it can change from bank to bank, where most banks won't update the statement lines to Zoho Books until the following day. You can see here that we have fully set up our bank feeds with Starling. Okay, so next we have the traditional banks. They are the usual high street banks that have managed to provide automatic bank feeds. Examples include HSBC, NatWest, Halifax and Barclays. For the traditional banks with working bank feeds, the process is largely the same as modern banks, but the login process of syncing Zoho to the bank will change from bank to bank. Some banks will even require you to send off manually PDF forms to their departments, to get them to activate the feeds. And finally, the only type left to show you is the banks without automated feed capabilities. For these banks, we need to set up the account manually. Start by going to Add Bank or Credit Card, as before. Go to Enter your account manually and fill in the details. When filling in the details, remember that you can always find your account number and routing number on your certified check. Do not forget to check the tiny box if this account is going to be your primary account. Then save. The good thing about Zoho Books is that you do not have to add your bank only. You can also add your credit card and PayPal account. Next, you can import all your historic transactions. Press Import Statement. You will see that Zoho Books accepts file formats in CSV, TSV, OFX, QIF and CAMT053. You can download your bank statements template based on the format. I have chosen to use a CSV format that can be read using Microsoft Excel. Next, I go to my banking statements to grab the relevant data, and populate the data into the correct columns on the spreadsheet. After I am done, I can save the document in CSV to my computer. Then, I can press Choose File. Next. Here, I can make sure my column header on the CSV file matches those on the screen. This is essentially what Zoho Books are expecting to import. It is good to watch out for the date formats, particularly in the UK, where the format is different to those in the US. That marks the end of our video on banking with Zoho Books. Please feel free to reach us for all your Zoho Books inquiries. Don't forget to like and share this video, and subscribe to this channel.